What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the market moving forward as we have important data coming out at 10 o'clock a.m. Not to mention a bullish piece of news that came out for Tesla that's helping the share price push in the pre-market. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And don't forget about the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY. Anyways, as far as Tesla goes, we're up about 2.68% during the pre-market session right now, making a very, very nice move. And the question is, what is Tesla going to do from here? Well, the first thing I want to go over is why this move is happening. Tesla's made a big announcement. They're aiming to launch their FSD in Europe and China in Q1 of 2025. They're pending regulatory approval, and the floodgates are opening for Tesla to solve FSD worldwide, according to reports. That's a great piece of news. This is making all the headlines right now. And on top of this, Musk basically said that he expects them to get regulatory clearance relatively soon. So that's a good piece of news for us. So this is a big update that's come out. Tesla's also going to be launching its FSD driver assist product, not just in Europe and China, but potentially even other areas at least moving forward. But these are the two main areas that they're focusing on. And with these new regulatory approvals that they're waiting for, I still think this is a great update from us. And I can't wait to hear what else they're going to be telling us. This is very, very big. So I can't wait to see what Tesla gives us, at least moving forward. And this is going to help them in a lot of different ways, as it gives them a lot more roads to focus on and to get them a lot more data. Now, there's also some news right over here. Today is Thursday, September 5th, 2024. And initial jobless claims come out. This was once again close to expectations at 227,000. And then we also got continuing jobless claims very close to expectations as well. Now we're going to be waiting for two pieces of data. At 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the S&P Global Composite and Services PMI reports. Look for some volatility at 9:45 a.m., 15 minutes after market open. Then 30 minutes after open, at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the ISM Services PMI, business activity, new orders and prices reports also coming out. So watch and see what this leads to in terms of volatility and such. So get ready for that, guys. This is going to be very important. We'll see what the ISM services data gives us, and we'll see what that leads to. This is going to be very big for us, so I can't wait to see what kind of moves are made, especially when the new orders and prices come out. So the main time for volatility today is going to be 10 o'clock a.m. It's going to be very wild. We have lots of data coming out, so get ready, guys. And I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. Right now, there's almost a 50-50 chance of us getting a 25 or 50 basis point cut. We're waiting to see how that goes. For earnings, we just had NIO announced their earnings. The share price is up as they did relatively well. They beat on EPS expectations. Revenue is decent, and their guidance is looking pretty strong. So that's why NIO is in the green. And for now, we're just going to be looking at new pieces of news coming out. I read that Nvda is now denying reports that received a DOJ investigation. We could be seeing if that's we're going to be watching to see how this changes, but I just want to call that out. That's all I'm seeing on headlines. Anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about Tesla. Let's focus on what the charts are suggesting. So as far as Tesla goes, we're looking at this 225 areas resistance. If we hold above this, we're going to be looking for a potential push for 228. If we don't hold 225, we could be returning back down to 222. And if that fails us, we have a gap to fill all the way down towards the 219s. So make sure you watch those levels very carefully. I think it's possible Tesla tries to complete this like cup-like structure. It was a little bit higher. It is still possible. But whether or not Tesla continues that pump depends on our data that's coming out 15 minutes and 30 minutes after market opens. So that's going to determine if Tesla pushes higher or not. It's possible we try to go all the way up to about 228 before we come back down. So we'll see if that ends up being the case, if Tesla's forming a giant like cup and maybe a handle. We'll see about that. So make sure you watch your levels very carefully. We do look bullish looking at this green bars, and generally this does lead to more upside. And we could be looking for a target up here for this high at 228. We'll see if Tesla could break that or not. But even if we do break this, we'll see what kind of reaction we get with the ISM services. Could this launch Tesla higher past 228, 230, and eventually like 234? Or will we get a big rejection? We'll just have to wait and see. But generally, we do tend to push a little bit higher after getting a green bar like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tesla push to at least 228 or a little bit higher, and then we'll see what the reaction is to all the data that's coming out. For SPY, we're consolidating at the 550 area. If we hold 550, there's potential for us to go back up towards our EMAs around 555. If we lose 550, you're going to be looking at 548. Well, 549.5 is one support, not to mention 548. If we lose 548, we're going to likely be dipping all the way down to 543 to fill the gap. So watch and see. Lose 548, we turn bearish. We're looking for 543. If we hold above 550, we could be looking for a rally back up to 555. Whether or not we get that is obviously going to depend on the data. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know what the data is going to look like, but I can tell you this: it's going to cause a big move. So I'll be watching to see what ends up being the case. For ES, we're kind of range bound as well, just like that of SPY. If we lose 5,500, we're looking for a dump all the way down to 5,480 or below. That's where we have this imbalance. For bullish, we want to try to break past 5,547. That's our 200 EMA. If we break this, we could be looking for a push. So we'll see how things go. We're just completely range bound right now, and we just have to be very, very patient nonetheless. For Nvda, it's the same thing. We're just kind of trading sideways. Now we have this support around 104. If we lose 104, we're looking for 99. If we hold above 104, look for a move back up to 110. Depends on our data. If 110 breaks, we're going up to 114. So hold support, we go back up. If we lose 104, we turn bearish. Otherwise, we're just in this range for now. So watch and see what the move ends up being with the data release. For Bitcoin, we're on a bit of a downtrend right now. We need to reclaim 57,000. If we reclaim this, we could be looking for a move back up to 57,600 or higher. If we end up failing at 56,000, we could be looking for a dip. Overall, we're on a bit of a downtrend right now. So we'll see how things at least go moving forward. For the QQQ, we're also indecisive right now. We have this key support to watch for at 458. If we hold this, we're looking at 460's resistance. If we get above that, we're looking for a counter trend move to 465. If we fail at 458, we could be dipping down to fill our gap in the low 450s. So we'll see which way we go depending on the data release. Watch 458 as key support. If we lose that, we could turn more bearish. If it breaks 460, we could turn back up. So watch and see. We're in the middle right now. The market's waiting for the data, so get ready for that. 15 minutes and 30 minutes after market open. Apple, if we lose 218, we turn bearish. If you hold above this, we could turn back up to at least 222 or higher. To me, it looks like it's holding this and it's trying to rebound. So we might see a little counter trend move on Apple. It's looking a little bit more favorable for 222, if not 224. So I do favor that a little bit more, but just to be safe, watch for confirmation. For the IWM, similar setup as Apple. If we had lost 212, we're looking for 208. And if we hold 212, we're looking for 214. If that breaks, we're going back up towards very close to 216. So we'll see if we could hold above 212 to rebound closer to 216. Or if we lose 212 and turn bearish, we'll just watch just to be safe. For coin, we're on a bit of a downtrend right over here, but we're basically looking at this 160 support. If we lose that, we're looking for 155. If we hold this, we're looking for a move back up towards 172. I'm watching this range, so just be very patient nonetheless. For Amazon, we basically are trying to hold above 175. If we hold this, we could be looking for a move back up for 177, if not higher. And if we end up losing this support at 175, we're looking for 172 again. This has potential to push higher, so watch and see what this is basically doing. For Meta, we're on a bit of a downtrend right now. We're basically looking at this resistance around 515, support at 506. We're in a range right now. If we lose 506, we turn bearish, look for a dump into the low, the high 490s probably. But if we break past 517, we could turn back up. So I think we're just going to be range bound for now. We will see what the data causes. Microsoft's on a bit of a downtrend right now. We're looking at resistance at 410. Our main support is going to be at 405. We're range bound, but it looks a little bit more bearish. It is possible we get a counter trend move, but then we could continue to sink towards 398 later on down the line. And Google is also looking kind of weak right now. We are barely holding 156, so watch support there. If we hold 156, we could rebound for 160 and then continue lower later on. If we lose 156, we could be dumping, so we'll be watching to see which way we end up going. With that being said, guys, Tesla is outperforming the market, forming a very, very nice cup right now. And generally, it does push towards the highs. So usually you would be anticipating a higher push. But whether or not the push lasts is going to depend a lot on this data that's coming out, the ISM services report at 10 o'clock a.m. So we will see if Tesla's move is sustainable. So watch and see what this data causes. Is Tesla about to push higher and continue, or are we about to form kind of like a cup in hand where we push to resistance, then come back down? We will have to wait and see. So be very, very patient, guys, and let's see how the data affects us. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great day. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours for another update, and peace out.